Can you tell us a little bit of the concussion protocols? Because you're in and around Melbourne, the Melbourne squad.
Mhm.
What goes into the concussion protocols? What's the process?
So what happens is if a player, obviously, the player's laid out on the ground, it's
Yep.
pretty obvious, and they go bring him in. Sometimes you see a player stumble,
Yep.
and then keep going. So what happens is there's a video replay on the sideline that the doc jumps up and has a look at. If he thinks the player's concussed, he'll tell the trainer, go out and check that bloke. If the trainer's already seen it, he goes out there, asks some simple questions.
Yep.
Ask some questions like, what day is it? Who are we playing? Who did we play last week? Blah, 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 blah. And if he fails any of those, and he also tries a balance test, if he fails any of those, they bring him inside. You've got 15 minutes, and what happens? You go inside of the doc, and they've got a series of questions.
Yep.
And I tell you that these questions aren't easy. They give you 5 words you got to remember. So you got to say the words, and then they'll ask you a few other questions, do some balance things. They'll ask you to name the months backwards. They'd ask you to name about what time it is, what was the score last week, and then they'd ask you those 5 questions, those 5 words again. So it's quite an in-depth sort of thing. Do a bit more balance sort of stuff, and then get ready to get you back on the field if you pass it or if you fail any of that. A lot of the times they're not going to let the bloke on the field anyway because he was either laid out for a bit or he was stumbling around and couldn't stand up. But they'll still ask him the questions to say how they follow the protocol. And then what happens is for the next 3 days, there's no physical work. For the next 2 days, there's no physical work. The 3rd day, you can roll your legs over on a bike.
Yep.
On the 4th day, you can join training. And on the 5th day, you can do contact work.
Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, geez, a lot of people will be interested in that because they don't know what goes on behind the scenes. That's awesome.
Those questions I ask you in the tunnel, because a lot of times you're pumped up. You're saying,
groggy.
I'm fine, dog. Just get me back out there. But they ask you to remember these words, and months of the year backwards is tough, I tell you.